Hello and welcome to Blooming Curious, the podcast dedicated to reimagining early childhood education through the power of curiosity. We explore the strategies that inspire a lifelong love for learning in children. So if you're an educator or a curious parent looking for creative, meaningful ways to engage children and move beyond the talk and chalk traditional classroom approach, then this is the podcast for you. Picture this. It's 2:30 p.m. and you're staring at your lesson plans thinking, how am I supposed to fit in more reading time when I still need to cover fractions and the water cycle and that social studies unit on community helpers? If you've ever felt like you're playing curriculum Tetris, trying to make all the pieces fit together, you're not alone. Today, I'm going to share 3 simple strategies that will help you weave literacy into every subject without adding extra prep time to your already packed schedule. The struggle is real. We're expected to cover more content than ever, yet we know that students who read across subjects become stronger readers overall. Research shows us that students need at least 90 minutes of literacy instruction daily, but most of us are lucky if we get an hour of dedicated reading time. Here's what I've learned. You don't need to add more time because you don't have more time. You just need to be more strategic about the time that you already have. Today, I'm sharing 3 strategies that you can use starting tomorrow to help you integrate literacy across the curriculum. Strategy 1 is the picture book bridge. The fastest way to integrate literacy is through picture books. Picture books have multiple purposes. They are fantastic. They make reading fun. When you're reading to children, you're modeling what good reading looks and sounds like, and the right picture book can make connections to other learning areas. The Tiger Who Came to Tea becomes a math adventure when students organize a tea party where they need to estimate costs and solve problems about sharing and portions. What happens when unexpected guests arrive? Students naturally move into addition, subtraction, and even early multiplication concepts. Not to mention the social studies connection of learning about tea traditions in different countries, and the biological science connection of learning about animals and their habitats, their adaptations, and life cycles. The Curious Garden by Peter Brown is perfect for teaching plant life cycles, urban ecosystems, and environmental stewardship. Students read about Liam's transformation of the city and then observe real plants. They document their growth and they write scientific observations about what plants need to thrive. This is a perfect lesson plan and picture book for teaching real hands-on learning and scientific observation and data collection. Q-Poodle 5 integrates everything. Students read about problem solving. Then they design their own inventions. They apply mathematical concepts to their creations, and they think critically about solutions. It's literacy, it's math, it's science, it's design technology, all wrapped into one engaging experience. The key, though, is to choosing books that connect your content, not just books that happen to be about your topic. Look for stories that raise questions, that create emotional connections, or present problems that students want to solve. Strategy 2 is the vocabulary spiral. Every subject has its own language, and that's your literacy goldmine. Instead of just teaching vocabulary in isolation, create a vocabulary spiral where words build on each other across subjects. Here's how it works. Let's say on Monday, in science, you introduce the word observe during your plant growth experiment. On Tuesday, in your math lesson, you use observe when students notice patterns in data. On Wednesday, in social studies, students observe details in historical photographs. And Thursday, in your writing, students observe their descriptive paragraphs. And then Friday, in your reading, students may observe character actions and motivations. And by the end of the week, observe isn't just a science word. It's a thinking tool that students can use anywhere. So if you just start with 3 to 5 words per week, choose words that appear across subjects like analyze and compare and evidence or sequence. Your students start internalizing these words because they're using them everywhere, not just for memorizing for a test. Strategy 3 is the reading-writing connection. This is where the magic happens. Every subject naturally creates opportunities for authentic reading and writing. In math, students write explanations of their problem-solving strategies. They read word problems more carefully when they know they have to explain their thinking to you or to a partner. In science, when students keep observation journals, they read informational text about their experiments, they write hypotheses, they're practicing literacy skills while learning science content. And in social studies, students read from primary sources, writing from different perspectives and creating historical narratives. The secret is making reading and writing feel necessary, not like an add-on. And when students need to read to understand their science experiment or write to explain their math thinking, literacy becomes purposeful. Here's your implementation tip. Start small. Don't get overwhelmed. Pick one subject and try one strategy for 2 weeks. Don't overhaul everything at once. I recommend starting with picture books because they're the easiest to implement. Choose one book that connects to next week's math or science lesson. Read it multiple times over the week. I like to read them every day. Discuss it and then transition into your regular lesson. Notice how students' engagement changes when they have that shared story experience. Once you're comfortable with picture books, add in the vocabulary spiral. And remember, you're not creating extra work. You're being more intentional about the work you're already doing. And if you're thinking, well, this sounds great, but how do I find the right picture books for my curriculum? Well, I've got you covered. I've already created ready-to-use picture book lesson plans that connect to every major curriculum area. Each plan includes the book connection discussion questions and follow-up activities that seamlessly blend into your existing lessons. You can find these lesson plans on my site at go.bloomingcurious.com/resources. They're designed by me, a teacher, for you, teachers who need practical solutions that work in real classrooms. Remember, to help students become better readers and writers, they need lots of opportunities to practice. But you don't need to find more time to do that. You just need to be more strategic about the teaching you're already doing. Try one strategy this week and let me know how it goes. Remember to visit my resources page for done-for-you integrated picture book lesson plans that make cross-curricular literacy integration simple and effective. I'll leave a link for you in the show notes, and that'll be really easy for you. Until next week, remember, curiosity is your superpower, so stay blooming curious.